Our next, I'll introduce the guests. I guess they'll come up together and you guys have your thing worked out. We have Stephen Ruth, and he's, I don't know who gave you the name, the Red Light Robin Hood. But anyway, it's nice and catchy. It sounds good. And then we have Hector Gavilla, who was somebody who actually got a copy of the contract. He did a lot of the research. He's very well spoken, and he sort of exposed. You know, a lot of what they did was, they figure out nobody's going to know about it. They do amendments to contracts, and Hector will speak about that. But he exposed it, and I think also because, he's a well-spoken, intelligent guy, and he really articulates himself very well, he made a good case. So having said that, we'll introduce Hector and Stephen.
Thank you very much for having us today. And what I wanted to first mention is that for a very long time, just like many of you, I was against red light camera tickets, and the first ticket that I ever received was in 2010. And what happened with me there was that the video showed a car at night, which even to this day I don't know if it's my car or not. And it's at night, you can't see the car, you can't even tell the color, the make, the model. So I went to what I thought would be a fair trial, and I went to court. And even the judge and the district attorney, they could not identify the car, and they were stammering and stuttering. They played the video 3 times, and then the assistant attorney, out of frustration, just said, well, it's been proven to work in other states, and then the judge just said guilty. And that was it. And on that day is when I lost faith in the entire system. And I was so frustrated and felt alone. I felt powerless. And the word tyranny really applies here, because that's what we have. It is tyranny when you go through a court system and you are told that you don't have any rights and you can't defend yourself, and you're not allowed to even face your accuser, which now we know is Xerox, and it's an employee of Xerox. Anyway, fast forward about 5 years, I'm on Facebook, and I'm still wondering, what can I do? And I have ideas, and I want to do something, but I'm not sure how to get started. And I watched this video of this guy popping the camera up, and I said, wow, this guy's a hero. And I realized that he's also a Suffolk County resident and a fellow realtor. And I contacted him right away after watching the video many times, and we got together, and I said to him, this is what we need to do to help fight and get rid of these red light cameras permanently, not just in Suffolk County, but in New York State and all over the country. And the good news is that the 2 of us are getting support from other activists from New Jersey, from other states where they have successfully removed these cameras. So we're getting tips every single day on how to do this. And I will tell everyone in this room, we need all of your support, because we're only 2 people, and we've been working very hard every day.
Thank you, Hector. And Hector has been instrumental in producing more footage, more evidence, more articles, more indictments, more corruption scandals that are going on all over the country regarding very similar or the same camera company and local governments. When I first addressed the legislature, I told them that they were our last line of defense against corruption and manipulation associated with these camera companies. And most of those legislators at that time, 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks after I was originally arrested, they didn't even really look at me. They were dozing off. They don't pay attention. They take us for granted. Well, I knew that there was a problem with the right turn on red and the 3 seconds. I knew it was a scam, and that they were just ticketing everybody, because originally how it started, what motivated me to actually start popping up cameras, was I was speaking to my priest after Mass, and my priest and I are close, and he's 70 years old, and he's a regular Catholic priest. He told me that he had received 4 tickets unjustly and that he hadn't broken the law. So I started playing the devil's advocate, acting like Balone, saying, you sure you didn't make a right on red without making a complete stop? And he said, Steve, I'm 70 years old. I've never been pulled over, and I did not break the law. So I said, okay, I'm going to look into it. And when I saw that there was inconsistencies everywhere with the traffic engineering, I said, you know what? I'm going to expose this, because this isn't legal. And then I got a couple of phone calls from other friends of mine that said, Steve, you can't talk about it unless it's fact. So I was hanging out with my girlfriend, and she said, you ready? I said, let's go. So we just started recording intersections. And I started with the worst one being right in front of the precinct. The 2 worst ones I came across were right in front of the precincts. I said, you know what? The reason why these police officers are supporting me is because they're left to clean up the mess. You know, they appreciate the revenue stream, but they don't care where the county gets it. They're tired of cleaning up the accidents, and on Thursday's meeting, you're going to hear fire chiefs tell you that the accidents have skyrocketed since they re-engineered these intersections to just be about generating revenue and not safety.
Now, when I first, spoke with Steve about this, the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, what can we do to make a change? We all know that it's the legislative branch that makes the laws in this country, and there's different levels. But unfortunately, many of us don't even know who are the people that are responsible for the red light camera laws that are giving you these tickets on a daily basis.
Future, but not just yet.
We have a website, RedLightScam.com. It's easy to remember, RedLightScam.com, and we have instructions on there. We have videos. We have citizens like yourselves who have been submitting videos to us. And we also have links to our Facebook groups that we have. So this way, everyone here, we need your help. We need your activism. We need you to get involved and come to the meetings.
Yeah, especially
now,
in Nassau County residents.
one of the questions that I wanted to ask was a very simple question. How many of you know who your legislator is? Okay, I'm impressed that it's that many. And some of us know now because of what's been happening, and we've been advocating on our website. You have to contact your legislator. How many people know how their legislator voted when it came up to vote for the red light camera? Okay, that I'm also not surprised at. So the majority of people in this room have no idea how their legislator voted. And they're enjoying a long career as a legislator and a long career where they continue to implement laws that affect you adversely. So you'll get that red light camera, you'll approach the intersection, you'll stick your middle finger up at the camera, which has been told to me by many people, but you're still going to the elections and you're voting for the same people who are doing this to you. I went to the Suffolk County Legislature website and I was searching for the documents that they have online. And they do have online a very good library of every single law that they have passed. And you can do a search for a red light camera. And that in 2009 is when they first introduced the red light camera program in Suffolk County, and it was unanimous votes. All 18 legislators voted to implement the program. I don't blame those original legislators. You know who I blame? I blame ourselves. Okay? Everybody in this room, we're at fault. That's what I'm saying. Right. That's what I was trying to allude to. It's not the legislators' fault. It's our fault for having apathy, for being apathetic. Everybody in this room, including myself, they post their agenda every day. You could go online. You could see the agenda. You could see the meetings. There are public meetings where you can go in once a month and you can tell them how you feel. In Suffolk County, I educated myself and I saw that we could go to a general meeting and there's a public portion where we have the opportunity to speak on any subject for 3 minutes. So we went to a meeting that was 2 months ago, right? And Stephen spoke and I spoke and we spoke about our opposition.
September 29th was the first one?
I think it might have been in September. This is very recent, everybody. Okay, this is amazing what we've accomplished because I want to talk to you about the accomplishments. But you guys have to understand that these are legislative meetings where they're used to nobody showing up. So even if they get 3 people there, that's a crowd. Everyone in this room has to make a pledge that you have to go to a legislative meeting. And you have to try to go to as many as you can, even if it means taking the day off of work. You need to go. Because if you don't go, these legislators, they're voting, they're surviving in obscurity. And they're telling you that they're working for the working people. Well, when they pass a law like this, they're not helping the working class. They're hurting us. Yeah, they're helping themselves. And they are fiscally irresponsible, and there's no question that they need it for the revenue. But our long-term goal is to replace all the legislators who continue to support this program. Our short-term goal is to try to identify all the corruption that's in the contract.